What's going on, everyone? This is the NCU podcast. I'm your host, Noel. Joining me today is Arena and Jeremy.
What's up?
And and today, the episode for today, we're going to be talking about, especially with the success of the Super Mario movie being the highest rated animated movie of all time, considering Nintendo fans and everything, and what I've seen online. What is the possibility of a Nintendo MCU and how would it be structured? Before we get into that topic, if you guys don't mind, please like the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell, share with your friends. Without further ado, let's talk about it. So, first and foremost, did you all see the Mario movie?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
And what did you think about it?
I liked it.
It was pretty good, but Sonic was better.
Here we go. Here we go. You definitely grew up as a Sega head, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Back to man all the way, baby.
Now,
Noted. All right.
Now, I know I sent you this post, I believe, earlier in the week. So, what do you think if they were going to go, especially into a Nintendo MCU, which obviously the big culmination movie would be Super Smash Brothers? What would be the next movies in line, and how would you structure it?
Let's see what we got here. So they already showed a bunch of things from other movies like Star Fox. Let's see, what else did they show? They showed Icarus, so most likely those won't be shown. They got Kirby. They got Metroid. They got they got Kirby, Metroid. They have not Star Fox. No, I already said Star Fox.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least Kirby or Metroid or even Legend of Zelda. I think that could go. Yeah.
I was about to say you didn't mention my.
Yeah. She loves her some Legend of Zelda.
Yes, I do.
No doubt.
So, when it comes to structuring this, what do you think the next movie in line is going to be? Because we already got Sonic 2, I believe, last year. We got the Super Mario movie this year. So, what will be the next movie coming out?
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
Sort of. Like, honestly, I'm not exactly sure what movie would be the best for like the next movie. I guess, because I don't know, it's already weird enough trying to get all of these, I guess, like franchises to make like their own movies, but then having the idea that eventually they're gonna have to like meet up together is kind of like, okay, so in which case, which one should we do next that's gonna be the most recognizable, I guess.
Pokemon,
You gonna keep saying
catch 'em all.
Okay, so you say Pokemon, and what would be the next one that they would have to do? Would it be in the same vein as Detective Pikachu?
Most likely not. No. They might show like a new trainer or like Red or something along those lines. That's probably.
To me, I feel like if they are going to try to start it up, the next movie, at least from what we've seen and who they've like teased, showed, and whatnot, I feel like Donkey Kong might get a standalone movie. Especially with the DK Country games, you still have people like, you already showed Cranky Kong, you already showed Donkey Kong. You still have Diddy Kong, you still have Dixie Kong, you have, I'm trying to remember, Funky Kong, you have like a bunch of different Kongs. You still have King K. Rool, who would in that sense be around, because now, especially if you want to do it with how Mario and Donkey Kong were tied into the movie, you could definitely sit there and say, okay, Cranky's like, hey Peach, we helped you when it came to Bowser. Now we need you to come help us when it comes to our, reptilian problem. And that's how I think it will be situated and started up next. Or that's what the next movie I would possibly see.
Or even a prologue for the Kong Kingdom or something along those
That's true.
lines.
I can see that too.
Why do they have such a large standing? How did Cranky come to power? Things like that.
And considering you're a big fan of it, Arena, I can see that at the end, especially if there's an end credit scene to the Donkey Kong movie, it'll be a situation where, let's say, King K. Rool got a decent amount of the bananas or whatnot from the Kongs. As he's going through the banana horde, he sees, there's a rupee in there, and now it's like, where did this come from? And as there's a subtle hint to Link and Zelda being out there.
You should see her face. It just lit up when you say rupee.
Because I love Legend of Zelda. I know the topic of if Legend of Zelda was to also get a movie has been talked a lot on, at least on Zelda Twitter, which is very controversial. You have a lot of Zelda fans that actually don't want a movie because they don't want it to, they just don't want it to be like tainted, like messed up in some way, shape, or form. They still don't trust it.
You remember when Tom Holland was supposed to be like Link?
No.
There's rumors that WWE star Cody Rhodes might be Link as well.
No,
So
he does not have the twink energy. No.
the twink energy is wild. The twink energy is hilarious.
Because Link is strong, yes, but he gives off major twink vibes. Okay, I need a person who's able to dress up in like as a Gerudo and sneak into Gerudo Town and be believable.
That costume just floored me. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, if we're being honest though, if they go based on the Mario movie approach, there's a good chance, if Cody or Tom Holland is playing Link, they're just gonna voice him. So I don't think it'll be a situation if they actually like made it. They're gonna go the full. All right, throw on this outfit, even though Tom Holland especially being who he is, even if he's voice acting, he's still gonna probably get a costume made just to sit there and like tease people and be like, oh wow, like just to be funny.
Because it's like if we're doing like a whole like Mario Bros. Like Smash cinematic universe, then it would have to be animated, of course. I don't want a live action. I really don't. But I'm kind of like, even if Tom Holland is still just like voice acting the character, I'm not sure how I would.
They do it just like the old school commercial for Super Smash Bros.
That
was in Imagine me and you, with you.
But like, I'm just not sure how exactly I would want them to go about it, because I'm like, Link doesn't speak. He doesn't speak.
He just makes. That's all you gonna hear.
Yes.
So who's gonna do be the best voice actor for that?
I'm gonna need you to get out of here, okay? While Chris Pratt did a relatively good job, all right? No, I don't want him.
Goku confirmed now.
I agree.
Sean Schimmel, we're calling you. Sean,
I wouldn't
come
even
on
want,
down.
like any celebrities. I would just want a good voice actor to do a good job, I guess. I'm not even thinking of any celebrities. I just want a good voice actor, to be honest.
Somebody that has a lighter voice and can do highs and
Yes.
hi-hats. And
Yes,
he doesn't even have to talk. Yeah.
Who can put in personality and all the whatever the heck, right?
So I take it you're trying to see if you can get into Illumination and Universe and trying to be the next voice actor. I see.
I could be like Child Link or something.
That'll be hilarious. That'll be hilarious.
Because my voice is too high pitched to be a fucking. Oh.
So you're fine.
All right. Splice it here. All right. My voice is too high pitched to be like adult Link or anything like that.
She'll be Kid Link. There you go.
Or I could be Linkle.
Linkle, yeah.
So here's a question: so far from the timeline, what we had the Mario movie. Then we said we're gonna transition into Donkey Kong, and then we're transitioning with that into Legend of Zelda. Considering, especially you being the biggest Zelda fan right now, what games do you take from? And I say that more so. Think about how the Mario movie was set up. They had some Odyssey, it had some retro, it had some Galaxy in there. So what games would you actually take from?
Okay.
Because we know who the villain's gonna be at the end. Obviously, gonna be Ganon.
Yeah.
So it's like, which games do you then take from, just to like then make it cohesive?
I guess that's a really good question, because
We take from Skyward Sword, the beginning of the adventures.
I don't know.
Jeremy, you definitely need to be like a voiceover for somebody. Jeremy got the energy of being like some in a world when robots take over, like.
And they destroy all of mankind. You are the only survivor.
Oh God.
So you'd better strap up and strap on.
You got the strap? Okay.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's so crazy. But
Buddy.
what games do you think would be good to take from?
that's such a difficult one because anytime when it comes over to Zelda, there's already like a schism, I guess, between the 3D games and the 2D games, and even the Breath of the Wild fans and the pre-Breath of the Wild fans.
Like that's what I'm saying, yeah. Because Skyward Sword is literally the first game within the adventures. Yeah, it has to be because you literally have giant Ganon giving a curse to everything around. Yeah. That would make sense. Demise is like. Hey.
It would make sense to start and essentially just adapt Skyward Sword because then it would explain the whole legend, the story, the creation of the Master Sword. It would be pretty nice.
And then they can do they can show Pit Ganon and stuff like that. Yeah, Ganondorf.
Well, Ganon wasn't the main enemy in Skyward Sword.
No, he's Demise. I know Demise. I'm saying that then they can show the future, like what happens next.
Oh,
and then
so
they can
have that as like part of the sequel and stuff like that. Yeah. I guess it would mainly just be like them adapting some of the main 3D games and stuff.
You and your family will be cursed forever.
Yeah, so it'll probably just be like Skyward Sword showcasing the story and the reincarnation and stuff. And then, let me see. Because Legend of Zelda, at least the official timeline-wise, which not everybody agrees on, is very weird and there's a lot of different stories and stuff that happen. But I'm like, the next stuff that would have to be like Ocarina of Time because it makes sense thematically and story-wise. And then after that, it honestly just kind of depends on what would work for their universe and stuff, right? Would they then go and do the thing of doing Majora's Mask and then Twilight Princess going down that route? Would they also have Wind Waker or something like that?
All I know is that they would have to play Song of Storms at least once within the Ocarina of Time and the Majora's Mask situation. That's all I'm saying.
If they're gonna add Majora's Mask aspects in it, I feel like just to be funny, they're gonna probably either have a shop with Majora's Mask just sitting there, or they're just gonna have the moon casually in the background, almost like a Soul Eater esque thing.
Maybe. Oh, they can also try to adapt from the mangas.
Yep.
I forgot that they were mangas.
There are Legend of Zelda mangas. I don't know if they're like officially canon, but I know I think they still have the Nintendo seal on them and stuff, so they're at least approved by Nintendo. And they're pretty good. Link does talk in those, but I'm not physically hearing his voice, so that is different. All right.
You're just so used to just not hearing Link's voice that you just can't put anybody to Link.
Then when it finally comes, when they finally say, screw it, we have the voice. Bring him out right now.
Yeah, well, it's like, even like right now with the whole Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, those games are voice acted. And it's been kind of messy because you have it to people like the original Japanese one, but a lot of people, including me, have kind of been like, those voices don't really match. Like, you have Zelda, who is a princess, who oversees the kingdom, who has goddess powers, who straight up, at this point, is straight up Queen Zelda. Why does she sound like a regular Japanese schoolgirl?
Well, excuse me, princess.
Well, excuse... Nah,
but it's like, okay, her voice, high pitch, whatever, but it's like there's definitely been some criticisms in regards to the Japanese voice acting and stuff like that, and some people prefer things like the French voice acting, or the Spanish dubs and everything. So it's kind of like already have Legend of Zelda fans that already feel some kind of way about the voices of certain characters. And I can just imagine if they try to have Link be voice, it's not gonna be nice. And just nah. Because it's like, we already have Zelda, we already have Impa, and a couple other characters being voiced. If those voices don't match whatever movie that they do, it's going to be poopy.
Yeah.
I can't curse.
I can agree.
PP.
Now I think, so far, how the timeline we got set up so far, it's Mario just came out, but we have Donkey Kong afterwards, and we have Legend of Zelda. Personally, I think after Legend of Zelda, we go, I'm going to say, quote-unquote, back, and we have Sonic 3. And here's the reason why. I say we go Sonic 3 because they already teased and showed that the Shadows are supposed to be in Sonic 3. So now, once you have Sonic versus Shadow, they're doing their battle, they're duking it out and everything. You can then, of course, we already know that the way Sonic got to the real world was through the rings. We can, at that point, have like one of the rings get thrown, it instantly like something happens that messes up, and once they like fly through it, right in the Mushroom Kingdom. Which then I would say that what's it called? The next Mario movie would follow after Sonic. And that, of course, we already got, Yoshi being there and everything. We got Yoshi's teeth at the end. We have that be almost a Yoshi Island adventure. Especially you can have the giant, Bowser, especially how it was at the end of Yoshi Island. And then you have, at the end of that movie, that end credit scene is when they finally meet Sonic, Knuckles, and everybody because they fell into their world.
I could see that happening.
What about having Luigi's Mansion as a world? Somewhere in there, incorporating Luigi's Mansion.
Do you think Luigi's Mansion will get its own movie, though?
He got his own games.
I mean, yeah, but I also sit there and say, and this is somebody that enjoyed Luigi's Mansion, is there, outside of the mystery aspect, is there like enough full-on content to just make a Luigi Mansion movie? Now, I can see it, per se, if in this, since I'm, I guess, comparing the Nintendo thing to making it like the MCU, how it is now, if, Illumination has their own, like, network and whatnot, if they, like, partner up with HBO or whatever, I can see Luigi Mansion getting its own TV show because they can basically make it where it's like, okay, oh my gosh, Luigi got through the door, but he just seen, I don't know, Toad that's stuck in a painting. What happens next? Come into the next episode. I can see it being something like that, being like more like a detective style TV show.
And it can showcase one of the largest villains of the Mario franchise, King Boo.
King Boo is kind of terrifying though when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I can also just kind of see it as like in one of the Mario movies, Luigi and Mario, they're doing their own separate things or whatever, and Luigi's Mansion gets incorporated that way. So you kind of see what Luigi's up to while Mario's doing his own thinking and stuff.
He wins the lottery and gets his own mansion. But little does he know, the darkness that settles him.
You should be a voice actor, my guy.
Yeah, I told you you should definitely be a voice. Either that or do voiceovers.
She already showed me Cindy already showed me the way to do so.
And it's like if they don't go Luigi Mansion for a TV show, I can see them doing more like a holiday special type thing, like Luigi's like haunted Christmas mansion or something that you have like a scary Santa Claus, but it's really King Boo in disguise and things like that. So I can see it going that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
That would be pretty good.
yeah,
They gotta make sure that the jewel on King Boo's head only costs 1 coin.
that's crazy. That's so crazy. Now, another storied franchise when it comes into Nintendo and everything. I have an idea, but before I give off my idea, I want you guys to answer first. How do we introduce Metroid?
Metroid could, because it's like Metroid takes place in space on various planets. So theoretically, they could kind of exist on any other universes just as long as they exist in this space. Because they don't necessarily have to be like exactly interacting with Earth all the time, I guess, right? So that would be, I'm trying to think. Because Metroid could have like their own movie, definitely a horror-esque movie, which would be nice.
That'd be crazy.
Well, no, the games are kind of like a bit more on the tense side, I guess. They give me anxiety and make me scared and cry.
So Metroid exists in a galaxy, basically.
Yeah.
Most of it exists in a galaxy. So you could definitely understand, and Peach does hint no, I'm not gonna go into that because that's probably spoilers. I don't wanna.
Well, I mean, at this point, if anybody hasn't seen the Mario movie, then they're gonna be like, okay, Peaches. Jack Black was hilarious.
I love you.
Okay.
Exactly right. You got the horns, I see. But the way I see it, especially with how we started talking about the timeline and everything, with the ending of a second Mario movie, I can see Metroid, Samus, and everything being introduced from that, I can't remember the name of it, but from that star that was in the Mario movie, the one that just kept like yearning for death for some reason, I can literally see him just like going back into space, being bored, and then seeing the Metroid just kind of like float past him, and he's like, "Whoa, I wonder what that is," and then it's like, off screen, you just hear like a burp, and it's like, "Oh, the Metroid must have ate him or something like that." It's like.
The only sign of relief is the big release of death.
I was like,
He said
gee.
something like that.
I was like,
Yay, we're dying. Or something.
so it's like I can definitely see Metroid being introduced that way, and then even with that, you can have it, especially since we brought it up in the beginning, at the end of a Metroid movie, because we already know usually with Metroid games, once Samus defeats the final villain, the planet usually blows up. We can have it where it's like right after Samus's ship like goes, back into space just to like get out of the danger zone. They pass the Star Fox fleet, which introduces Star Fox into the world.
And also, technically, even if that doesn't track, Chozos can actually manipulate space-time.
Oh wow! I bet now that I did not know.
Chozos can actually do that too. They actually exist beyond space-time. It's kind of crazy.
So far, we have Mario, Donkey Kong, Sonic, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and Star Fox.
So next comes Kirby. That's the name you should know.
Now, that's. I feel like that's like a little tricky. I feel like the main way to do that is if you do a Mario Galaxy movie, because with them walking on planets and everything, you can then see just like this big old star just somewhere. You're like, what's that? It's like,
What the heck is a pop star?
yes, like
Something along those lines.
now. I really don't know how I do a Kirby movie. Like I said, Kirby doesn't really speak much either. Kirby just says like random like sound effect.
He's basically a baby.
Basically,
Yeah, Kirby's
an
a baby.
interdimensional
He's an-
giant deity baby.
Star Warrior baby. He can beat your butt, but he can barely say anything but "Wayo."
And you was talking about, Metroid being intense. Kirby's final villains get dark too.
It's straight
Dark
up.
matter for the end villain.
Kirby's enemies are biblically accurate angels.
Or
To,
Zero.
like,
Oh, Zero would be fun.
the 10th degree. Just
0 and 02. Oh boy, those were nightmares.
Now, the one movie that I want to see, especially if it's done right and everything, animated and whatnot, I want to see a Mega Man X movie. Because one of my favorite games, especially on Super Nintendo, I love playing Mega Man X. Especially going through all the villains, learning their weaknesses, getting every armor upgrade. So, introducing Mega Man, I feel like, unless you do, as you said, something with like space-time and somewhat time travel, or unless Samus, flies deep into another world, like far away into the universe, and then finds like another world where Mega Man and, Zero is there, then I really, really wonder like how to set that one up. Because so far everything else seems like cohesive, but also based on what we just said. And
It's also a part of another franchise, like Capcom.
that's true.
there
So
you
then
go.
you have to really think about how to get that with all that licensing.
It'd be like Sonic and Worlds Unite, stuff like that. Sonic, Archie Sonic, if anybody knows that.
And then, like we said, with the pop star thing, you're basically essentially already just made Mario 3, because that will really just turn the third Mario movie, that's what I'm saying, would be a Galaxy movie. That's how we're going to introduce
Yeah,
most of
most
everybody
likely.
else. So you end the Mario series, we already ended the Sonic series. So really everything else is hampered on Donkey Kong. We haven't said what a second Donkey Kong movie would be. We haven't said a second Legend of Zelda movie. We haven't said another Metroid, another Star Fox, another Kirby, and then we're looking at Mega Man. So outside of that, before we try to continue on with what other movies we think will come out, what do you think Illumination and, in a sense, Nintendo would make the cutoff point so then they can start making a Smash Brothers movie?
All the originals from the actual Smash Bros. Movie would have to come in. So there you go. Bowser, technically he wasn't there until Super Smash Bros. Melee, but he's one of the main villains and one of the main antagonists of Mario's world. So he's going to have to be a part of it in the first place. It just would be a few extras, but technically, yeah. It would have to be that all of those movies would have to come into place, and then after that, you can set up the actual movie and set up the villain, which is Master Hand. Or Taboo, even.
I forgot about Taboo.
Because you can have Taboo. All your words are mine.
So what do you think? What do you think, Arena? What do you think the cutoff point would be for them to start making a Smash Brothers movie? Because we started naming a bunch of characters who had their own movies, but we know that if they were going to do a Smash Brothers movie, they're not going to have like half of Ultimate's roster, and then let's say, all right, half that roster got their own movie. Now let's make a Smash Brothers movie, because that's a lot of characters, that's a lot of voices, and that's a lot of money.
Which Nintendo already has, by the way.
Oh
They
yeah,
can do this. They can make an actual freaking Smash Bros. Universe. Should they? That's a different story.
the person who created the Sonic movie said he wants to make a Smash Brothers movie, so it's not like it's out of the question. It's just one of those, what will it take to get to a Smash Brothers movie?
Money.
I mean,
You better fit your asses into those seats right now.
No cursing.
That's not a cursing word. That's just what it is.
this man right here.
I'm
so
sorry.
weird. Well, I'm age restricted now. Gotta tell all your children you can't listen to this one. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I feel like you said, the original Smash roster would most likely get into that position. Any stragglers, I don't know. Like I said, in the post that we've seen, they definitely, hinted at possibly having Kid Icarus. And I'm like, I wonder how many people would actually know Kid Icarus. And the thing is, it's like, a lot of people in the Marvel universe, or more so like casual Marvel fans, they didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. So bring Kid Icarus in there, it's definitely plausible. But how much do you think that would actually? How much do you think that would be an actual realistic possibility?
Well, if we understand how the warp, well, again, spoilers for anyone who doesn't know. You've already seen them in the trailers anyway. Watch the movie at your own discretion, because I don't know if it might turn your life around or something. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. However, those warp pipes that they have could lead to other universes.
I didn't think about that.
Yes. And that in itself is the key. The magic of the Super Mario universe is key to the situation. So, if they can do something with that, they could get them to travel to different worlds. That's all I'm saying.
You know a franchise we haven't talked about? Earthbound.
Yeah, I was looking at the original roster and I'm kind of like, oof. There's Ness and Captain Falcon.
F-Zero, I feel like is really easy. I feel like if you do F-Zero, you can somewhat do like a Mario Kart spinoff. Considering they already introduced the Mario Karts in the movie. So it's like, you could do something based off that, and then, oh no, the F-Zero tournament, and it's like, or somebody walks past us. Even if they don't introduce it like an end credit scene, you can have somebody in one of the Mario movies or so walk past a sign that has like, how they in like Western movies, how they have like those big old signs that have like all the wanted posters on there. You can have it where it's like, join the F-Zero race, and it's like just subtle, but it's like, hey, it was in the background, they hinted towards it. There's a race out there. Let's see when the movie's gonna be made.
And show Captain Falcon your moves.
Show me your move.
That's right.
Falcon punch. Every
Falcon
time
kick.
the minute
The minute.
the minute he wins, all you gonna hear is huh, yes, like, bro.
Yes. Come on.
Now, I don't know if there's anything else when it pertains to that. I mean, was there anything else on that roster that we didn't talk about?
For the original 12?
Yes.
Original 12 has Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu, Luigi, Ness, Captain Falcon, and Jigglypuff.
So, like I said, Pokemon is most likely going to be one of the next first movies.
But do you decide to actually do casual, regular Pokemon, or do you decide, considering the post that we've seen, do you decide to branch off from Detective Pikachu?
I feel like it would be hard to branch off Detective Pikachu Pikachu was live action. And
But so was Sonic.
True. Okay.
Hmm.
I like Detective Pikachu. It was really, really good. So
It was good. It was a good, like, simple story, basically. Yeah. Detective story. Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
You a Ryan Reynolds stan?
All the ladies
I love
love some Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
He's amazing.
Him and his wife, their relationship, especially when you see how they post each other, is even funnier.
They're both amazing.
They will literally sit there. His I can't remember his wife's name right now, but literally she'll sit there and post a picture standing next to him and say, a fan wanted me to take a picture with him, so I decided to do it. And then Ryan Reynolds will post that same picture and be like, had to give a picture to the charity kid. So, like, something random. I'd be like, bro, they're hilarious. Like, they are so hilarious.
Yeah. I know the wife. She was in I know she was in Gossip Girl, and then she was also in that one movie with Anna Kendrick, and it was actually really good. That also had Henry Golding. I want to say is his name. Why am I forgetting her name in particular? And my mind keeps saying Carrie Underwood, and I'm like, that is not her name.
Now, this is just, especially like a Smash Brothers joke and everything. What's the likelihood, considering everybody asked for him in Smash, what's the likelihood that, your boy Waluigi ends up in the Smash Brothers movie?
Waluigi.
It's gonna be very tough.
They're gonna make a joke about it.
I can see them do. I can see them sitting there, especially if it's like a tournament, like a legit tournament. I can see Waluigi like showing up to the tournament late with his application saying it's ready, I'm ready to get in, and then they're like, oh, we took all the last applications like an hour ago, and he's like,
He pulled his hamstring from a sports tournament that he had.
then after that he's just like, wham.
ACL, yeah.
Pulled his hamstring at Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis would just be messed up. And speaking, since we brought up, Sonic and everything getting in there, what's the likelihood of a Mario Sonic at the Olympics?
Not really, unless they do some like a cameo.
Because like they only release those games whenever the Olympics come out and stuff like that. So I would only see it as like a little special, I guess, for the Olympics, and that's kind of it. I don't think it would be like a full movie.
I agree.
All right. Now,
Do you disagree?
no, I don't disagree. I just wanted to see what
Speak
you all
your
thought
mind.
of it. Because I don't see a full-on Olympic movie happening, at least like that way. Usually when you think of like a sports Olympic movie, there's this, oh my gosh, the person made it to the Olympics and now it's this backstory and if they're going to win, how much a championship means to them. So I don't see it actually going that
Out
way.
here in the fields,
I'm thinking of that one song.
we
like,
fight for our meals. Crazy.
Any guest characters you think would actually show up in the movie?
Guest characters in what way?
As in a Super Smash Brothers movie. Because think about it, the Super Smash Brothers roster is very, very large. And you have characters, think of Ice Climbers, you have Snake from Metal Gear, you have Bayonetta, you have Cloud, you have... Who else am I thinking of? Cloud. Even though I know for a fact Disney won't play it this way. You technically got Sora in there, and that's going into like Smash Ultimate.
And a
So-
Nintendo, if it's a Nintendo IP, anything is possible. If it's not a Nintendo IP, it's not. Basically, not in my opinion.
And like we even said, you still have characters like, since we brought up Mega Man with Capcom and everything, you still have characters like the Street Fighter characters.
Yep.
So what is the likelihood of them showing up?
They most likely will not show up unless Capcom again allows you to do Mega Man stuff.
And I feel
He's gonna be Street Fighter first or Mega Man.
Yeah,
I can see Street Fighter before Mega Man.
it's like a lot of the characters in Smash, although a lot of them come from Nintendo, all of them are also coming from other companies as well, and they're gonna want their characters to be portrayed in a certain way and in a certain light. And they've already allowed these characters to be featured in Smash Bros. And stuff like that.
Basically.
And I imagine it will still be very tough to get them in a full-on movie. Like,
will.
it took forever to get Sora in Smash and stuff. It's probably gonna take them forever to get that I was supposed to say that man, but he's a boy. To get that boy in a movie and stuff like that. Like, I imagine it would be quite the struggle. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I definitely see what you're saying, and I guess I'll probably like end it off with this. So, and I know I'm more so basing this off of like how the original Smash was portrayed and everything. So, what's the likelihood that a Smash Brothers movie gets made, and not only the villain is Master Hand, but it's also shown that all of the characters we've seen in each movie were actually toys? Because that's how originally Smash Brothers was put up. It was just them placing down toys, and then they kind of hopped off their stands and then started fighting each other.
It might be some type of greater universal thing where, like I said, taboos here, so they might actually be trophies. Or he might be able to turn them into trophies. Turn anything that he touches into a trophy.
I can see that. Instead of making it like a literal toy,
Yep.
you just have it be where they get turned into toys and trophies and statues and stuff like that. It'll be a nice little illusion. No.
Yep, because Master Hand will be there. Master Hand and Crazy Hand will be the main, and will be basically because that's what they're called. Be the secondary antagonist, and Taboo will be the main antagonist. He'll say, "Go fetch them. My trophies are ready."
Or you just gotta send Sans.
I was just thinking of like Master Hand just being God or whatever, and they just have to fight against a God because like Master.
Then they're getting just like the Smash Brothers Ultimate like opening cutscene. They're all getting blitzed, and it's not even funny. Like
Sonic wasn't getting blitzed. Sonic got
the only person that outran the final like villain in Smash Ultimate was Kirby.
We have to think about the character they have not thought about yet that needs to be in Smash Ultimate.
What?
Who?
Wii Fit Trainer.
No.
It'll just be some random woman off the street.
So unless because again, some of these characters if they're in the Smash Brothers movie, they'll probably just be like put in, like they probably won't get their own movie. So you're gonna the only way I can see Wii Fit Trainer being a Smash Brothers movie is if the minute Master Hand says, you have X amount of days to prepare before the big old Smash Brothers tournament. And in order for them to prepare, they just have to go, there's a workout montage. And then you see Wii Fit Trainer in there doing yoga with like some of the characters as they're literally like messing up. And it's like,
let's stretch out those legs.
Yes. And if that's the case, you might as well put Undertale characters in there too.
Oh, with Sans and everything and stuff. That'd be great.
They also have, especially since we was talking about Fire Emblem. Well, not Fire Emblem, but guest characters. Fire Emblem is there as well. Fire Emblem, you have Xenoblade. It's like you have a lot of characters, and I feel like if anything, if any of these characters get put in, even if they aren't getting put in like in a major way, the only way I can see them being put in is kind of one of those. Like, have you all played Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat.
So there's one stage, I believe it's like Cliffside or something. I can't remember the name, but literally you're standing up, you're fighting your opponent. And if you look in the background, you can see other people fighting. So I feel like they do something like that. Whereas like you see Mario and Sonic throwing hands at each other. And just for like a brief second, if you look in the background, you see Bayonetta versus Snake. And now it's like, whoa, was that them? And it's like, yeah, they're here, but probably we didn't have the voice actor for it. Or, maybe they'll show up in another movie or something like that. So
I'll be honest with you. They're probably not going to use those IPs.
That's fair.
Yeah, because you want to keep it from being costing too much and stuff like that, and then they got to do all that. Then they got to use the voice actors, and they got to pay everybody handsomely. They're probably going to keep it to the series that really will connect the most with the Nintendo universes. That's just how I see it.
And I also feel like
Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, Wii Fit Trainer. That's right.
And I also feel like personally, depending on the character and everything, they might try to coincide a lot of that with a game coming out. So it'll be a situation where it's like, all right, cool, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes out next month. So you have that. Yeah, I see you, Raina. Raina, you over there happy.
Again, she's shining.
I am so happy.
Her cheeks are flushed with red.
That's a nice change of pace from the yellow, I guess.
But literally, you have that, and I feel at some point next year we can possibly get a Mario movie. I mean, not movie, Mario video game, especially with the success of the movie. So it's a situation where I feel like with things like that, any other movie that gets released will probably have a game at some point tied in. Like, because even think about it this way, Sonic 2 came out last year, and what came out was it end of last year, beginning of this year? Sonic Frontiers. So at some point, as long as the iron is still hot, a game will come out with it. So that's what I feel like could possibly be next.
Okay. Yeah. I think that it, like, all of these are possibilities, but just to understand that if one of those movies flops, it's over. Nintendo does not like taking risks. If the risk fails, they are done. they don't care. They're done.
I mean, there was that whole thing where, like, a couple of years ago, probably not even a couple, it's probably like many years ago, where Nintendo was going to work with Netflix on making a Legend of Zelda show, I think. And then when somebody at Netflix and stuff had talked about it, they just straight went, nope, we're not doing that now. Deal's off now. We're not.
All that money gone.
Yep. All because they were trying to, tease or be like, hey, we have some stuff going. No. And so I was like, shut your mouth. No.
Because if you look at Nintendo, you gotta also look at it like Disney. Like, you mess with us, we're just gonna pull the plug, and you're not gonna be able to say nothing about
they
it.
got enough money to do that. All they really care about is money.
I was about to make a comment, but this is a podcast. My name, Nintendo's been coming after people, I guess. People in the Zelda community, y'all know.
The ninjas.
Next thing you know, I wake up after posting this episode, and they're gonna be like, cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
The Nintendo ninjas are gonna be at my door. I'm like, what did I do? They're gonna be like, you gave up our roadmap. I'm gonna be like,
you gave up all of what we wanted. Now you are dead. We're coming after you.
I mean, instead of throwing me in jail, y'all should hire me.
Hire you.
I wouldn't mind. I feel like, it's certain, like, storylines I could probably write for certain games, or something I could probably hey, this interests me. Why don't we put this and put that in there?
Nintendo's policy with stuff is always really old-fashioned, so you can't really think that they're going to really think outside the box with how they like their games are usually really good, but how they go about releasing all that stuff is abysmal. So yeah, if you want to come after me, I got these hands. I'm just gonna tell you. I don't give a crap. There you go.
I can't even say anything. I'm low key. I'm a Nintendo show. Well, sometimes I've been pretty upset with Nintendo about how they've been handling the marketing for Tears of the Kingdom and stuff.
Nah, me personally, I'm a From Software shield. So like, whenever that Elden Ring DLC gets dropped, you guys will not see me. There will probably not be an episode because I will be knee deep in the game.
Same here when Tears of the Kingdom comes out.
Oh yeah, you're probably taking like an 8-month hiatus.
I need another Smash Bros.
I'm going to rack up 300 hours in this one too.
And I'm going to immediately tell you, hey Arena, please, and oh so please, touch grass.
I do touch grass on one leaf in my room. I just every 10 hours, just like.
He has to make sure she's a part of reality still,
Nah, you gonna tell whoever went outside and cut your grass to just bring the bag of grass in the house, so you can have it under your desk and just touch.
I touch grass. Wow.
Well, I appreciate you, Jeremy, and you, Arena, for being in this episode, especially trying to break down a possible hypothetical timeline. Can't wait to see Tom Holland as Link or, possibly Cody Rhodes. So, yeah.
Happy to freaking be here. I'm ready.
Any other comments, Arena? Because the minute I said you look hurt.
Because I don't want Tom Holland and I don't want Cody Rhodes.
By the way, Tom Holland, Link confirmed, and Zendaya Zelda confirmed as well. So
Zendaya Zelda.
Now that's not as bad, right?
No, because this is about to be me getting on the acting of Zendaya and Tom Holland, but Zendaya has a nice range. She's believable. Tom Holland can only act one character, and that's a nerdy high school boy. That's kind
But he's Spider-Man.
I mean,
push
That's the
the
best. That's the best teenage high school boy.
And then of course you,
just watch the Uncharted.
and then of course if you want to be even funnier, Gannon, obviously canon for either Dwayne The Rock Johnson or Kevin Hart. Just being. No, I'm kidding. That'll be wild. That'll be wild.
They would not do that for me again. That would be such a
And
disrespect.
I wouldn't want Dwayne. I wouldn't want The Rock as Gannon.
If it was gonna be,
They need his voice deep.
if it was gonna be anybody for that,
It's just the fact that, like, with The Rock and everything, he has in his contract that he cannot be seen losing.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the villain. You might need to lose.
that's a really weird contract to have.
Yeah, I think it started sometime after a couple of the Fast and Furious movies where he
name
just
is
doesn't
Gannon.
want to lose.
Leave
That's why
it.
the whole Black Adam movie was very weird, because he never loses in any of the scenes. He never
He
actually
can't. He
gets
says
hurt.
that's the contract. He can't look like
Exactly,
he can't look
so-
like
He can't look
can't say that
weak.
word.
A weakling.
Yeah. We'll call it weakling. Yeah.
So
weak-
now I would not want The Rock as Gannon. But anyway, I know you're trying to do your
No.
and
You're
I
fine.
just-
No, you're fine. Especially once I brought up voice actors, I was like, yeah, this is gonna go into another little conversation just to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hilarious. But again, like I said, I thank you all for, of course, helping me with this episode and trying to break down the timeline. Anybody want to give off their social media? No, I'm kidding. I'm not that popular to do that yet.
Oh boy.
One day I will be, and one day, I'll actually have a studio. But of course, I'm recording off my laptop with the mic.
Hey.
And we're still getting it done. So
that's how you do it.
thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening. Let us know what you guys think and anything that you guys could be possibly see if Nintendo decided to make a Super Smash Brothers movie. Leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you for watching.